Hi, welcome to my daily trade vlog video where I'll go over the trades that I took. Today is March 2nd, 2022. Uh, I had two trades today. One was a normal setup and another one was accidental one. We'll see those in details. Before we do that, I'll tell a small preparation that I do before a trading day starts. One of the main things that I look at and make sure I have it in my mind or in the Chrome tab is forexfactory.com. This basically gives any kind of important events that are going to happen um, on that particular day. So it helps me to know if there is something that is going to happen at that time, so I can stay away from a trade. I don't generally trade any of the uh, place where there are red event impact. You can see this impact, and it says red usually means high volatility possible during this period. So today it was Fed Chairman Powell, alias K Powell, as he is called in the various forums. um, he was testifying in the Congress, I believe. So during this period between 8 a.m. I'm in Mountain Time, so market starts at 7:30. So he is testifying around 8. His statement is usually uh, posted 2 hours before his speech, but the consequence or volatility begins when he is answering question and answers from various representatives. So I generally tend to stay away. So this I expected to last until around 8:30 when this was happening. So I stayed away from trading anything until that time. So from the market open at 7:30 a.m. in Mountain Time until 8:30, I did not trade. So let's go over. This is very important. So this helps us, you know, um, if you are in a position, then I usually sometimes there are scheduled at around like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So I try to stay away from any uh, trades taking during that time or closing off my existing trades before that event occurs. So because market volatility jumps and my general setups are only 50 points, so it is very easy for my stop loss to be hit and my trade closed. Let's go over the setup. Let's come to the setup place. Uh, like I mentioned earlier, um, I only took two trades today. I missed few. We'll go over each of them. So let's see the two trades that I took and the ones that I missed. So the first trade I took was around here. The corresponding timeline in trading view would be here about 9:20. So as you can see, for the first almost close to 2 hours, I did not take any trade. So this was the first instance. So by this time, you can see the volatility that played out. This is initial opening, and then this is when Powell started speaking, and then this is when he was answering questions. So you can see the swings. These are 100 points in either direction. So if you are if I took a trade somewhere here, it would have easily hit my stop loss and then bounce back. And if I had taken a short here, it would have easily hit my stop loss on the way up. So it's very difficult to trade during this period, and it is very I would say there is no setup there that you can play cleanly because this is all based on the sentiment of the market. So it's not ideal to play during those times, at least according to my setups. So when you come over, after that, market started grinding higher, and then the moment it established a trend, it went to 280R and then all the way to the higher Bollinger Bands. The small dots that you see here are the Bollinger Bands, and then it retraced, as you can see here, went here and then retraced. So here you can see it is coming back to the 80 MA. So when it was doing that, that's when I entered in plus 180R region, and it traced back into the 50-point profit within the next 10 minutes. As you can see, it was straightforward. And then after that, I took only one contract because if it had gone all the way to the third ETR and then came down, I would have, been more comfortable in taking more than one contract. But at this time, I was comfortable only taking one. So I took hit, and then it was a good trade. The next one, since the market did not go higher like I expected, the next usual setup is to take either at 80 MA if there was a good push higher, or at 21 EMA. So as you can see here, I waited for, since it did not go all the way up or it did not push higher fast, I did not want to take a trade at 80 EMA here, and I waited for a flush down to 21 EMA so that I can take the next trade, or to come to the 0 ATR so that I can play the ATR reversion to the mean trade that will push me back higher to 1 or 2 ATR so I can get my targets. But this is one of those days where the market grinds higher. So as you can see, it just kept coming to 80 MA and then going up, 80 MA and then going up. So it wasn't giving me any chance. And the only chance it gave me was right here around 1050, where it came to 0 ATR. You can see the Bollinger Bands are shrinking. Ideally, I don't take trades here, but today, since it was grinding higher, I would ideally taken it here and then closed off here. But I was not near my system, so I could not trade this trade. So, market gives plenty of opportunities. So if you miss something, when I got back, I think the market was somewhere here. I did not go ahead and take a trade because I know I missed the chance here. There is no point in taking a trade here because it is testing the previous high, and I cannot be, this is not a high probability setup that it could go further higher or it might flush down. So ideal setup would have been, take here, and then, even if it goes here and then flushes, you'll still hit break even because you had more than 25 points push. So it's always better to take the trade when there is a setup and then in the position where it is. And since this is futures, it's very, very critical that your entries are good because you are playing for 50 points or 75 points or 100 points. Your entry is critical. So if you miss an entry, don't go take a trade higher and then hit a stop loss. I've done this a lot in the past and I'm trying to avoid that now. So if you can move further, you can see if after this, towards the end of the day, since it never pushed through 2 ATR. So I was not comfortable in taking 0 ATR setups anymore. So I did not take any further trades. And then as you can see here, around this time, right when, let me just take a look, I think around this place, around, this trade. So around 11:20 when I got back, I accidentally took a trade here thinking that we had hit third ATR and then we are pushing down. That was just when I got back to the desk, and then I saw this, I think in 5 minutes or so, and then I took the trade and then quickly realized that no, it's not a proper setup, and then I closed it off immediately. I closed it off for few points higher, which will cover my commissions. So it's not a bad trade. It's not a loss. After that, if you continue to see the market momentum today, it kept within the 8 EMA, and then towards 12:30 it started falling, and then around, I think, around here, as you can see, the market was still pushing higher and then coming down and being within the range. And at this moment it started showing that 8 EMA was crossing over below 21 EMA. And ideally, in most cases, if it is a normal day or it's in the early hours of trading, this position If it flushes further and then comes back, it is a good place to short. But here it did not flush. This is the problem when you go into the power hour, that is the last 1 hour of the market. Anything can happen. So I generally tend to stay away. So as you can see here, it came down. Some people take a trade right away when it crosses over, but I don't like to take a trade like that. I would ideally like for this to flush with another good candle, and then when it bounces back to ATMA or after 21 has crossed over, and then I take the trade from there. So I stayed away. As you can see towards the end, I think last 15 minutes, it flushed way down. And the reason for that is all through the day, NQ was near the monthly VWAP. So if you look at the daily candles of NQ, yesterday and today, they are very, very identical. You can see this candle here. It's just in reverse, but identical. Almost identical. So this is 222 points range, and this is 233 points. And you can see it started here and then came down here. It started here and it went up there. It's very interesting because every time it touched at 0 ATR, it has flushed in the past, at least in this downturn phase. Let's see how this behaves now. I'm tempted to take a put option around this area if it goes higher tomorrow and then shows a strength of flush, because we also have 200 EMA here, so that is a good. So if it pushes higher almost to 1 ATR, I'm definitely going to take a put around here in this position. That is all I got for today. Just 2 trades, one accidental and one successful. Let's see how tomorrow pans out. Thanks for listening to me, and if you like the video, click on the like button, and if you like to see this consistently and get alerted, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.